Good morning, everybody. It's Travis from Peaceful Point coming at you with the weekly word. Excited about this one today. Just bear with me, though. Not entirely sure the direction I'm going with it, but it was another one that it was like, thought I was going to go one way, and then doing my cleaning job last night, and it was like, oh no, you need to touch this. So we're going to be in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 today. I'm going to read all of verse 1. And then I'm just going to skim through chapter 2 for the sake of time. Again, Genesis chapter 1 is where we're going to be. In the beginning. That's the premise we want to stick on today. In the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And then we're going to just go through, I'm just going to read the first sentences as to what God realized there, right? So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. When he created it, there was nothing there, right? Can seem incredibly overwhelming with all that going on. And then here's what we got. And then God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's verse 3. And again, I'm skipping through the verses for the sake of time with this. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the vault. God said, let water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And God called that dry ground land. God said, let there be lights in the vault in the sky to separate day from night, and let them serve as signs. And God said, let the water teem with living creatures, let the birds fly above the earth across the vault in the sky. Continue to read, guys, through Genesis chapter 1. It's going to tell you all this, right? Genesis 24, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind. And so God made the wild animals. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image. Then God created mankind in his image. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in numbers, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish and seas and the birds in the sky. And yeah, there we go. And then I want to just skim down to verse 31, and then we're going to read the first verse of chapter 2. It says, God saw all that he had made. It was all very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day God had finished what he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all of his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work and created he had done. So the premise I want to get behind today is very simply this idea of getting started with something is going to be the scariest thing that you ever do. So what I want to offer today is very simply just a point of encouragement from wherever you are. And the great thing about the Bible is it applies to literally every aspect of our lives, right? So what I want to say is this. Everyone's probably going through something. Some of us are actually trying to start a business or, take off something. Some of us just want to, have one day being clean and sober. Some of us want to have one day of not using our credit card. Some of us just want to have one day, but we're so afraid to start. We're petrified to start where we need to go because we understand what needs to go in it. And that's why I love Genesis chapter 1. It says very clearly, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, right? He could have just sat back and been like, I got this whole blueprint right here. Holy smokes, that's a lot. But you see what God did here? He broke it down. And step by step, verse by verse, God created something else. And then on day number 7, he stopped and he rested, right? And that blueprint is something that we absolutely need to follow, right? Because God could have very well just been like, painted everything up and everything was done. But step by step, very meticulously, he went through and did what he needed to do to get to the point that the earth was finally able to be inhabitable by humans, right? And that's like the key to where I want to go today. In the beginning, we need to have that starting point, right? No matter what. In order to get to the earth, there had to be the start. God had to say, we need to do this first. So what I want to say today, very simply, create a starting point for what you want to do. Start a beginning now. Don't let the excuses continue to back you up. Start a beginning right now. And then create a plan to meticulously work through what you need to get through to get you to that end point, right? I was going through Instagram the other day, and I saw this quote by Rob Dyrdek, and it was called the 5-phase cycle of success. And I think this is really, really prevalent to anything that we're going through, so I want to make sure that I share it. So stage number 1 for the cycle of success, right? The excitement and joy of pursuing an idea. You are so pumped, you're going to start something, you're ready to go, you're ready to rock and roll, right? You're excited. Stage number 2 is the energy of launching that idea. So now all of a sudden, like, you go from that excitement to actually you're putting all of your energy into it, right? Everyone's been there with whatever it is. You're like, yes, I'm going to do this. And you talk it up and you tell the world all about it, right? And then all of a sudden you're excited. And then that launches into phase number 3. Phase 3 is where so many of us get stuck, which is the whole point behind this message that I want to share, right? Phase 3 is the great test of self-doubt, right? So you're excited about something. You've started the beginning, right? You started creating something. And then all of a sudden you're ready. You're telling everyone about it. You're talking about it nonstop. And then all of a sudden the self-doubt comes in because you have your first failure or your first setback or your first doubter come in and say, there is no way that you're going to accomplish this. Or your old friends that you used to do drugs with come by and they're like, dude, come on. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And is it really worth getting clean? Who's going to be your friend after this? Who's going to do this with you? That's where the self-doubt comes in. In the Christian faith, it's very simply, it's, I got to tell you about Jesus, and I got to tell you about this breakthrough that I had, and this is going on, and that's going on, and this is happening, and that's happening. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want you to come and hear about the Lord with me, and please let me pray for you, and let's go do this. And you talk faster and faster because you're incredibly excited. And then that self-doubt comes in because someone says, yeah, but if God did this, and God is this, then why did this happen? And, why didn't you get this? Or why isn't your life easy yet? See, that self-doubt starts to kick in, and then you start to kind of go down this slight little slide, right? But here's what I want to get you to. Phase number 4 of this is that the belief is in the horizon, right? So if we stop at step 3, where so many of us stop in, we get stuck in this phase of self-doubt, we forget how far we've come from the beginning when there was nothing, right? The self-doubt kicks in. That's the devil trying to get you to forget all the progress that you made. Imagine if the devil came in when God was in the middle of creating things. We got just about to the human phase, and then the devil's like, shouldn't do that. Where would we be? Where would we be? Even if it was a phase before that where we had everything but the animals, where would we be there? Right? Doubt is a real thing, and especially when you're getting ready to do something fantastic. So we need to make sure that we get past the great test of self-doubt and go to the belief on the horizon, because that's the truth. No matter what you're going through, especially if it's something that you're praying through, there is belief on the horizon. So if it's that new job and you are so excited about it and you're telling everyone, I'm switching career paths and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you're pumped, and then you get one bad project and it really screws you over, man. It messes with your head. You're used to something being done this way. This boss wants you to do it that way. Anything like that. You're going there, right? You hit that stage, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, it doesn't work out that way, right? Like, someone comes in and says, you're an idiot, man. What about when you did it this job, you knew you were doing it right, and you should just go back, and come on back. And the carrot's dangled in front of you, right? The carrot's dangled right there. Come back to what you know, to what is easy, to what worked before. Do that. And in your head, you're thinking, that's not a bad idea. But then in your soul, you're realizing, but I prayed about this, and I truly believe that God opened this door for me for this reason to go here, right? So you need to make sure that when we get to that point where we understand that we get past that phase of self-doubt, right? We get past that stage of like, am I doing the right thing? Guys, I'm still having that 4 months later after starting a new job, where you sit back and you think, is this the right move? I could have been here, and instead I'm over here. And there's a whole bunch of paperwork right now, which kind of sucks, right? But I'm here for a reason. And when you get past that stage of self-doubt, you then get to go to the stage where the belief is on the horizon. And then phase number 5, this is where rarely few of us get. This is why I absolutely love, Genesis. In the beginning, God. And then we fast forward to chapter 2. On the 7th day, he finished the work he had done. So on the 7th day, he rested from that work. And God blessed the 7th day and made it holy because he rested from all the work of creating that he had done, right? On that 7th day, God rested because he got through all of those stages. He understood that belief was on the horizon and he could soon rest. And then he achieved the success that he had hoped for. He had created a man and a woman in his image that now had the chance to go forth and multiply and create this wonderful world, this wonderful, crazy, chaotic world that we're living in. And none of that would have been possible if God gave up first. If he was going through these 5 stages, he hit that stage of self-doubt. That's a lot of work, man. And then quit. So that's the encouragement that I have for you guys today, is that when you start something new, career, whatever it is, we're going to go through these stages, right? It's natural. We're going to be super excited about it. We're going to be amped up. We're going to want to tell the world about it, right? We're going to have such an energy about us that it's almost annoying because we want everyone to know what we're doing. Get past phase 3. Get past that stage of self-doubt, because every single one of us will face a trial along that way. Again, be it an injury, be it an annoying boss, be it a friend that, are they really a friend to begin with if they're talking smack to you the entire time? Be it those carrots dangling in front of you that you know you shouldn't be there. We will all hit that stage of self-doubt. We need to move past that. We need to know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I'm going to say that again. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Okay? We have to get past that self-doubt and go to that true belief stage. And that's where it goes to understanding that it's not our own lives that we're living. It's God's life. And we need to trust him and trust that he put us in the places that he did for a reason. And we need to stick to his plan. Understand that there is a beginning, and that beginning can seem like an awful lot of work. But I would rather see through from that beginning to the end than quit halfway through and wonder what if. I'm going to say that one more time. I'd rather see through from the beginning to the end than quit halfway through and wonder what if. Right? What if I didn't do this? What if I did that? Well, guess what? If I'm trusting God's plan, the what ifs don't matter, because he's got something that's far greater, and it might take years to see that. But what if I didn't follow God's plan? What if I didn't follow God's plans? What if I said, you know what, this is too hard, this is stupid, I got a job that's going to pay me a lot more money over here, I'm just going to go do it? What if I took that road, and then 5 years down the road it led to an absolutely crappy life? What if that 5 years of happiness that I was chasing after, for that short term, led to a company that went bankrupt? What if that one hit of that drug that I did to make me feel good, led to an addiction that went down another road, all because I said it's going to be easier to quit now than to keep on pressing on? We cannot press on. We cannot quit. We need to continue to press on so we can get to that 7th day, right? Where we can sit back and be like, I did a dang good thing today, and we can kick back and rest. Guys, even God had a beginning. He went through an awful lot to get us to this point. So what I want to just close with very simply is, don't quit. Start somewhere and progress through. You don't need to go a million miles an hour. God did things, step by step to get to that point. Could have done it, snap of his finger. But he went step by step to be meticulous, to make sure that things went the way they needed to go. And that's hard for us as humans because we want things done instantly. And that's not life. So again, 5 cycles of success to run through. Just keep it in your mind, and then we're going to close. The excitement and joy of pursuing an idea. The energy of launching the idea. Stage 3, where so many of us get stuck, right? The great test of self-doubt. Stage 4, the belief is on the horizon. And then stage number 5, where we want to make sure that we ultimately get to, very simply, stage 5, the success you would hope to achieve. Doing God's will. Not quitting when times get hard, not going down the wrong path that someone said, hey, just follow me. It's like as we go a little bit further on and the devil's like, hey, did God really say you couldn't eat off of this particular tree? We don't want to get to that point. We need to be rooted in Jesus. We need to understand that there's a beginning. There will absolutely be some hardships, but success you would hope to achieve is on the horizon. We just have to trust God's plan. So that's my word for you guys today. Hope you have an awesome Sunday, and just keep on keeping on. That's all I got. Peace.